make music intentionally for one particular style of people. I make music for people in general, and my music reaches people. So I think that's what it is. It's about how I was raised and just how I like to be around different people. It's not about my people, because I feel like everybody is my people.
Rapper, songwriter, media personality, actor, and entrepreneur. West Coast rap legend Snoop Dogg has come a long way since being discovered by Dr. Dre in the early 1990s.
Yeah, it's always good to get back into your natural, climate, and that's my number one thing, is to be a rapper. That's my foreground. Everything else is in the background. So when I'm able to go into a studio and create me another record and hold everybody's attention and see if people really still interested, and see if I can make the kind of music that can, do what I've been known to do, like make music that just goes from one country to another, from one person to another, that lasts from year to year, that represents a good time at party and just having fun.
As impressive as he was when guesting on Dr. Dre's The Chronic in 1992, few could have guessed he'd go on to global fame, tens of millions of record sales, and a career in movies and TV.
I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad God. Thank you, God. I appreciate that.
Calvin Cordozar Broadus Jr. was born on October 20th, 1971 in Long Beach, California, to Vernell Varnando and Beverly Tate. Vernell, who was a Vietnam War veteran, singer, and mail carrier, left the family only 3 months after his birth. And thus he was named after his stepfather, Calvin Cordozar Broadus Sr. His biological father remained largely absent from his life. He was the second of his mother's 3 sons. His mother and stepfather divorced in 1975. As a boy, his parents nicknamed him Snoopy due to his love and likeness of the cartoon character from the Peanuts. This nickname then evolved to become his rap name, Snoop Dogg.
It was a cartoon that was created, I believe, in the late 60s by Charles Schultz, called Charlie Brown, right? And it was a little white dog on there. His name was Snoopy, right? But see, what y'all don't know is Snoopy had a black brother named Snoop Dogg, but he couldn't bring me to the house because the white family didn't really like black folks back then. So he kicked me out. I went to the hood, created my own name. He gave me a few dollars and told me, my little white brother, Snoopy, told me, you have a cartoon mind and you will succeed. And I have succeeded. And that's the story of Snoopy and Snoop Dogg.
When Broadus was very young, he began singing and playing piano at the Golgotha Trinity Baptist Church. In 6th grade, he began rapping. As a child, Broadus sold candy, delivered newspapers, and bagged groceries to help his family make ends meet. He was described as having been a dedicated student and enthusiastic churchgoer, active in choir, and football. Broadus said in 1993 that he began engaging in unlawful activities and joining gangs in his teenage years, despite his mother's preventative efforts. Broadus would frequently rap in school. As he recalled, when I rapped in the hallways at school, I would draw such a big crowd that the principal would think there was a fight going on. It made me begin to realize that I had a gift. I could tell that my raps interested people, and that made me interested in myself. As a teenager, Broadus frequently ran into trouble with the law. He was a member of the Rolling 20s Crips gang in the East Side neighborhood of Long Beach. Although in 1993, he denied the frequent police and media reports by saying that he never joined a gang. In order to keep out of trouble, Snoop started to become more and more involved with music. With his two cousins Nate Dogg and Lil Half Dead, and friend Warren G, Snoop recorded homemade tapes. The four called their group 213 after the area code of their native Long Beach at that time. One of Snoop's early solo freestyles over Hold On by In Vogue was on a mixtape that fortuitously wound up with Dr. Dre. The influential producer was so impressed by the sample that he called Snoop to audition. Former NWA affiliate, the DOC, taught him to structure his lyrics and separate the themes into verses, hooks, and choruses. From there, Snoop and Dr. Dre collaborated on a song called Deep Cover for the soundtrack of a film of the same name. And Snoop became the key rapper on Dre's hugely successful first solo album, The Chronic, in 1992.
This hip-hop thing, don't let nobody stop you from being down with it, because could nobody stop me? That's why I'm in the position where I'm at. I stayed down with it. Even when didn't nobody believe in me, I believed in myself.
Well, Snoop came along when it was a time when rap was a little bit different. It was, you know, it was the hip hop, the hibbity, the hibbity hip. He came across with a whole new thing. It was a gangster rap, and you know, it just flipped the whole hip hop thing upside down. One of the first artists to sell 3-4 million records right off the top. So he was the first one. Now I call him the father of rap. Yeah, that's the reason why that all colors, all ages, all genres could relate to Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Snoop.
Working alongside Dr. Dre on his album The Chronic was great exposure for Snoop Dogg at the beginning of his career, making his first album a huge success. Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg's first debut album, was released in November 1993 by Death Row Records. Death Row Records was founded in 1992 by Dr. Dre, Suge Knight, the DOC, and Dick Griffey. The singles Who Am I, What's My Name, and Gin and Juice reached the top 10 most played songs in the United States, and the album stayed on the Billboard charts for several months.
So I ain't holding nothing back, and once again I got 5 on the 20s. It's like that, and as a matter of fact, cause I never hesitate to put a fool on his back.
Yeah, so keep out the manuscript. You see that this a must we drop gangsta.
Hold up, what's my name? Yeah. Lights and close the doors, but what? We don't love them now. Yeah, so we gon' blow out to this. G's up, freeze up for a second now, bounce to this.
Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my
Now
mind.
that I got me some.
Doggy Style, much like The Chronic, featured a host of rappers signed by or affiliated with the Death Row label, including Daz Dillinger, Corrupt, Nate Dogg, and others. However, just as he was beginning to see success in his rap career, in 1993, Snoop Dogg was charged with first-degree murder for the shooting of Philip Waldemarian, a member of a rival gang, who was actually killed by Snoop's bodyguard, McKinley Lee. Luckily, Snoop was acquitted on February 20th, 1996. After he was acquitted, he did not want to continue living the gangster lifestyle because he felt that continuing his behavior would result in his assassination or a prison term. A short film about Snoop Dogg's murder trial, Murder Was the Case, was released in 1994, along with an accompanying soundtrack. He collaborated with fellow rap artist Tupac Shakur on the 1996 single, Two of America's Most Wanted. This was one of Shakur's last songs while alive.
Named P, she niggerina. I got a house out in the hills, right next to Sheena. And I think I got a black Beamer, but my dream is to own a fly casino like Bugsy Siegel. That can do it all illegal and get scooped up by the little homie in the Regal. If
ride. Mother the rest, two of the best from the west side. And I can make you famous.
He was shot on September 7th, 1996 in Las Vegas, dying 6 days later. By the time Snoop Dogg's second album, The Doggfather, was released in November 1996, the price of appearing to live the gangsta life had become very evident. Among the many notable hip-hop industry deaths and convictions were the death of Snoop Dogg's friend and label mate, Tupac Shakur, and the racketeering indictment of Death Row co-founder, Suge Knight. Dr. Dre had left Death Row earlier in 1996 because of a contract dispute, so Snoop Dogg co-produced The Doggfather with Daz Dillinger and DJ Pooh. This album featured a distinct change of style from Doggy Style, and the lead-off single, Snoop's Upside Your Head, featured a collaboration with Charlie Wilson.
Go get it and bump it in your group. You can't afford it. Homeboy, this is vintage. I represent it from VA to Venice. So when it's timid and cold outside, rely on the doggy dog to put the heat in your lives.
The album sold reasonably well, but was not as successful as its predecessor. The Doggfather had a somewhat softer approach to the G-Funk style. After Dr. Dre withdrew from Death Row Records, Snoop realized that he was subject to an ironclad time-based contract, that Death Row practically owned anything he produced for a number of years, and therefore refused to produce any more tracks for Suge Knight other than the insulting "Fuck Death Row" until his contract expired. Death Row began to decline in the late 90s after the death of one of its stars, Tupac Shakur, and the imprisonment of Suge Knight, as well as the departures of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Snoop married his high school girlfriend, Shantae Taylor, on June 12, 1997. On May 21, 2004, he filed for divorce from Taylor, citing irreconcilable differences. The couple, however, remarried on January 12, 2008. The couple had 3 children together, sons Corday and Cordell, and a daughter, Corey. Snoop also has a son from a previous relationship with Lori Holmond, Julian Corey Broadus, born in 1998.
One thing about me in my situation, I don't never have to lie about what I do and how I do it because it comes with the territory. You know, she knew the job was dangerous when I took it. And at the same time, I respect her and I love her and I appreciate her. So I would never disrespect her in a fashion to where I would have to lie. Everything that I do, she know that I do because it's public. It's Snoop Dogg. I don't hide.
And how much input does your wife have into your music? Does she give you her honest opinion?
You know
and the
what?
kids as well?
Sometimes my wife has been a part of some of my greatest music by making me mad and making me go make some real good music.
Good.
And then sometimes I've been real happy with my wife and we made babies and made good music to represent that as well. So it's a double sword, you know what I'm saying? She brings out the best and the worst in me.
Shit, you know what? Yo, beat this. Lordy, lordy, we likes to party. We don't cause trouble and we don't bother nobody. We're just some niggas that's on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Right? For all my dogs, I'm keeping y'all in health. Just to see you smile and enjoy yourself. Cause it's cool when you cause a cozy conditioning, which we create, cause that's our mission. So listen close to what we say, because this types of shit, it happens every day.
The music industry, since Doggy Styles became more commercialized and more open to rappers and open to hip hop, as opposed to when I first came, hip hop was the bad boy of music. We were the scapegoats. We was the ones who no one could listen to or no one could have come over. It wasn't cool to listen to. Now hip hop is a part of everything that's moving, whether it's sports, TV, entertainment, whatever it is, you have to incorporate hip hop or your thing won't sell.
Snoop signed with Master P's No Limit Records in March 1998 and debuted on the label with his third studio album, The Game is to be sold, not to be told, later that year.
I'm really, just looking forward to just making a great record that feels good, that just gives people something to think about other than, financial problems and weather problems and just life in general, just music to make you feel good. That's what my music represents, so I'm trying to go back to the studio and put that feeling back in the world.
His other albums on No Limit were No Limit Top Dog in 1999, selling over 1.5 million copies, and The Last Meal in 2000, selling over 2 million copies after its initial release.
You know what it is? I love all music. Anything that feels good, that's different, I'm with it. I don't like just staying in one lane and doing the short, sweet, and simple. I like doing the different and the edgy.
In 1999, his autobiography, The Doggfather, was published. In 2002, he released the album, Paid the Cost to Be the Boss, selling over 1.3 million copies. The album featured the hit singles From the Church to the Palace and Beautiful, featuring guest vocals by Pharrell.
I know you gon' lose it. Just Snoop shit. Come on, baby, move. You got to get into it. Now gon' move with the player, with the cool with. Yeah, you know I'm always on that cool shit. Walk to it and do it how you do it. And have a glass, let me put you in the mood. So cute and looking like a student. Long hair with your big fat booty. Now back in the days, you was the girl I went to school with. I had it to your mom and sister to cool it. The girl wanna, I just might. So I hit her off with some pimp fluid. Mommy, don't worry, I won't abuse it. Every other minute, so you.
Well, when I'm working with somebody, it's got to be somebody that I love working with, or either that I want to work with, or somebody that just makes great music and can compliment me in what I'm doing, or either I can compliment them. That's what I'm choosing, who I'm trying to work with on a collaboration.
By this stage in his career, Snoop Dogg had left behind his gangsta image and embraced a pimp image. In June 2004, Snoop signed to Geffen Records / Star Trek Entertainment, both distributed by Interscope Records, and released his 7th studio album, R&G, Rhythm and Gangsta, the masterpiece. Drop It Like It's Hot, featuring Pharrell, the first single released from the album, was a hit and became Snoop Dogg's first single to reach #1.
When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get at you, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot. And if a get an attitude, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot. I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean down and I'm full of best, cause I got it going on. I'm a gangster, but y'all knew that. The big boss dog, yeah, I had to do that. I keep
His third release was Signs, featuring Justin Timberlake and Charlie Wilson, which entered the UK chart at #2.
Got cameras, just to get a glimpse of our chucks and our khakis and our bouncer car. You with your friend, right? Yeah. She ain't trying to bring over no men, right? No. She ain't gotta be in a distance. She can get all in an instant.
I see you get the with me. Are you telling me this is a sign? She's looking in my eyes, nosing other guys.
This was his highest entry ever in the UK chart. The album sold 1.7 million copies in the US alone, and most of his singles were heavily played on radio and television.
Miss you. Must I remind you when only get to twist you? Pistol whip you, dip you, then flip you, then dance to this music we crib too. Subscribe, nigga, get your issue. Baby, come close. Now let me see how you get loose. When the pimp's in the crib, ma.
Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot.
But when the pigs try to get at you,
park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot.
But if I could get an attitude,
pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot.
I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean down and I roll the best weed cause I got it going on.
In 2005, Snoop Dogg founded the Snoop Youth Football League for at-risk youth in Southern California.
This is so important because there's so many kids that have special needs that don't get a chance to come outside the house. They don't get a chance to intermingle and, be regular. And they are regular. There's nothing wrong with them. So we just wanted to provide an opportunity to bring them to the real world so they can have some real fun and do something that's, familiar to to the people that surround them, which is fun. We just want to put them in a fun environment, bring out some great coaches, some great people who understand what we're trying to do. And we look forward to this growing and getting bigger and better. Shout out to Deshaun Foster and Jim Welcher for, teaming up with the Snoop Youth Football League.
In 2018, it was claimed to be the largest youth football organization in Southern California, with 50 teams and more than 1,500 players. Snoop's 2006 album, The Blue Carpet Treatment, debuted on the Billboard 200 at number 5 and sold over 850,000 copies.
I mean, hip-hop has grown. Anything that, you put in the ground and you water it, it's going to grow. If you nurture it, we nurtured hip-hop from the beginning, so it's grown into different facets, different walks of life. I go to different countries and I see how people take hip-hop and they make it theirs and they add on to it and they create different avenues of hip-hop. That's what it was made for. It was created by the youth for the youth. So as hip-hop grows, people got to understand that hip-hop is going to go all over the world and it's going to be experimented with, it's going to be played with, it's going to be tampered with. But the thing is that hip-hop has grown out of one little box in the Bronx, New York is where it started from. And now I'm sitting over here in England doing an interview with countries that's far, far, far away from where it started.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop Dogg Dub or G, but I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. Maybe I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breathe. So it's 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got some bitches in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you wanna do? Shit, I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too. So turn off the lights and close the doors. But for what? Yeah, so we gon' smoke an ounce of this. G's up, hold down like you motherfuckers.
I mean, he just, he does good music, I mean, it's hard to explain the kind of music. Well, it's G-Funk. And, what it is that we've always stayed who we are and not changed for nobody. We've done things out of the box. And he's done a lot of things out of the box that nobody would try. Sorry about that. Things that nobody would try, and I mean that's people love that about him, and they see that, and they say this is a solid cat. He's original, and that's what it is that he has about him. That that charisma, that just and he's also a very funny guy to hang around. That's my best friend. He had me laughing still all day, every day, every time we're around each other. It's crazy. But I mean, he just an incredible dude,
He released his 9th studio album, Ego Trippin', selling 400,000 copies in the US, along with the first single, Sexual Eruption.
I'm gonna rush the stroke so she can get a sensual seduction. So I can get a sensual seduction. So we can get a sensual seduction. Sensual seduction. She might be with him, but she's thinking about me.
The single peaked at number 7 on the Billboard 100, featuring Snoop using auto-tune. Snoop was appointed an executive position at Priority Records. His 10th studio album, Malice in Wonderland, was released on December 8, 2009. The first single from the album, Gangsta Love, featuring The Dream, peaked at number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Call in the middle of the night, cause I'm a dog, I'ma give her what she like. She say my name loud, I say her name low. That's what I aim for, that's how the game go. Baby like the way I wake her up, cause I'm a gangster. I grab her by the pull her to my side. I'm woke that up just to put her to sleep. Every day is the same thing.
The album debuted at number 23 on the Billboard 200, selling 61,000 copies its first week, making it his lowest charting album. His third single, I Wanna Rock, peaked at number 41 on the Billboard Hot 100. The fourth single from Malice in Wonderland, titled Pronto, featuring Soulja Boy, was released on iTunes on December 1st, 2009. Snoop re-released the album under the name More Malice. Snoop collaborated with Katy Perry on California Girls, the first single from her album Teenage Dream, which was released on May 7, 2010.
Turn it up, cause it's getting heavy. Wild, wild, West Coast. These are the girls I love the most. I mean the ones, I mean like she's the one. Kiss her, touch her, squeeze her buns. The girl's afraid she drive it.
On February 4th, 2012, Snoop Dogg announced a documentary, Reincarnated, alongside his new upcoming studio album entitled Reincarnated. The film was released March 21st, 2013, with the album slated to release April 23rd, 2013. On July 20th, 2012, Snoop Dogg released a new reggae single, La La La, under the pseudonym Snoop Lion. On July 31st, 2012, Snoop introduced a new stage name, Snoop Lion. He told reporters that he was rechristened Snoop Lion by a Rastafari priest in Jamaica. Since the start of his career, Snoop has been an avowed cannabis smoker, making it one of the trademarks of his image. In 2002, he announced he was giving up cannabis for good. However, that didn't last long. And in 2013, he claimed to be smoking approximately 80 cannabis blunts a day. He has been certified for medical cannabis in California to treat migraines since at least 2007. In November 2018, Snoop Dogg announced plans for his Puff Puff Pass Tour, which features Bone Thugs and Harmony, Too Short, Warren G, Corrupt, and others. Also in November 2018, joining the likes of fellow hip-hop artists and legendary musicians, Snoop Dogg finally received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in recognition of his career. Along with Pharrell Williams, Dr. Dre, Quincy Jones, and Jimmy Kimmel, the artist celebrated 26 years in the game in true Snoop Dogg style.
Back in the day, Snoop came to me at a very low point in my life, and I had just separated myself from Ruthless Records. I had no money for food. I didn't even have furniture at my house at that time. I had to start completely over from scratch, and at that moment in my life, it was make it or break it for me. Then, it was time to do my first solo album, The Chronic, right? I had no idea how I was gonna do it, how it was gonna get done, and then boom, here comes Snoop, right? A true diamond in the rough. I mean, Snoop is just pure, raw talent. Nobody sounds like Snoop. And then when he opens his mouth, you know exactly who it is, you feel me? No, not only that, but his style and charisma made me feel like he was destined to be a superstar. You know when you can just feel it, he's got that thing, that it factor, you feel me? Snoop, I'm honored to be a part of your legacy. Thank you for letting me come up here and share some of my thoughts about how I feel about you. And I love you, man, congratulations.
Joining over 3,000 other stars on the famous walk, Snoop made an acceptance speech.
Been coming to Hollywood for a long time, looking down on the ground at these stars and just imagining what it would be like to be down here one day. It's a great feeling to look out here and see all of the people that really make me who I am, the fans, all of y'all out there. For real though, I gotta give a shout out to my A1 from day one, DJ Warren G. DJ Warren G believed in Snoop Dogg when Snoop Dogg didn't believe in himself, so I look at today as a day that we can celebrate as homeboys because he believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So, G-Dub, this is our star, big homie. Yes, sir. Got to give a shout out to all of the people behind the scenes that helped Snoop Dogg become who he is. I'm talking about my mother, I'm talking about my father, I'm talking about my aunties, the people in my life growing up, my mentors, my wife, for being there for me, for being my backbone, being strong enough to stay down with me and understand the fact that I was doing what I was trying to do best, but being there for me through the hard times and the good times. Shout out to all of the rappers that I rap with, that I wrote with, that I combined my talents with to create who we created. Mainly the DOC, my mentor, my teacher, for taking his time and, you know, putting his thoughts to the side to give me his spirit to do what I do and to instill that in me. Shout out to all of the people behind the scenes that used to go against me when I used to battle rap or whatnot. Because the battle rappers made me who I am. You know, to be able to battle against somebody to get better and to challenge yourself, I gotta give him a shout out, because without that I wouldn't have been able to be so challenging and courageous and being able to put my skills at a high level. Shout out to Dr. Dre for believing. Dr. Dre believed in me when I really wasn't nothing. And I'm gonna say that because I mean that, because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted to be a rapper, and Warren G believed in me. And when Dr. Dre gave me the opportunity, he didn't look at me like somebody that was less than him. He looked at me like an equal, and we always been brothers from that day. And that was real effective with me, because when you dealing with a star and you coming in as a nobody, it's easy for the star to downlook you or to play you low. But for him to look at me even, that's why we never said no to this day, because we always look at each other as brothers and we depend on each other and we need each other. So Dr. Dre, I want to tell you I love you, cuz, for being my brother through hard times, real times, and good times. Quincy Jones. I can't believe you got up this early. I love Quincy Jones. Like Quincy said, we used to party at his house when he wasn't there back in the days, but he was nice enough to let us use his house. And he's just always been like a mentor to us, been like a big brother to us, trying to help us understand that we need to be more positive and more instrumental with our voices. And now that I'm looking back at it, and now we at this day, I can say that I'm thankful for Quincy for being who he was, for trying to tell us to get our lives right and to be more positive and more productive. Because now that I'm a positive, productive man, I can walk around more peaceful and more happy. And I want to thank you, Quincy, for instilling that in me, and hopefully I'll instill that into the young generation of rappers so they won't have to go through the mess that we went through and cut the mess early and just get straight to the business.
And while he did the standard act to thank the most important people in his life, he took the opportunity to thank himself.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad motherfucker. Thank you, cuz. I appreciate that. And I gotta thank the man up top, G.O.D., because I'm nothing without him. Man, y'all have a beautiful day. Hollywood, thank y'all for letting me get it in. And all the Crips and Bloods, I want y'all to come Crip walk on my star later on tonight, cuz.
On July 3rd, 2019, Snoop Dogg released the title track from his upcoming 17th studio album, I Wanna Thank Me. The album was released on August 16, 2019.
Snoop is consistent, he works hard, he has no problem busting his ass, and you know, at the end of the day, he understands the balance between how to still maintain the integrity of what it is to be a human and how to maintain the integrity of not compromising what he believes in as far as what he continuously gives people as far as a great, amazing finished product and the quality of his work. And I couldn't be more proud of a person that I've seen before he even put out his first record. I think I met Snoop when he was 18 on Sunset Boulevard, right across the street from the Hyatt. And I think it was Sunset Tattoo at the time, next door to the House of Blues. Snoop didn't have a record out yet. And it was me, him, and Das Effects. And Snoop was letting me know, you know, he was just, you know, completing this project with Dre, and everything was getting ready to pop off. And then to see it come, did over 500,000-600,000 in his first week with his debut album. Ended up selling 5 million a couple months later. I don't even think he was 19 yet. You know, when you see the dynamic of how far he's come, when you look at, what was the video with him and Dre, that deep cover? Snoop was damn near too scared to look in the camera lens when he was performing. So to see a shy Snoop back then evolve into such a multifaceted, multimedia business tycoon, and he's out here walking this red carpet with his beautiful family. It's one of the most rewarding feelings to see, you know, how far he's come and just to see where music can take you.
Yo, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. Can somebody say ho? Say what? Say ho, ho, ho. Say ho, 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 ho. Now scream. And what you doing, dog? Stop it, I'm hopping like a rabbit. When I take the Nina Roche, you know I got to have it. I stay back in the cut, retain myself. I'm thinking about and I'm thinking, well, now how can I make my grip? And how can I make that straight slip? I'm almost 20 years rapping about up. You know we do it big. I'm all in the club, bro. There's 20 grips. You see a G, you better know the deal. You see the colors, fool. I'm in the streets for real. I'm gigging on these. Do them like dominoes. I slam them on their back and tell them dominoes. I wanna rock right now. Right now. Say what? I wanna rock right now. Right now. Say what?
On April 20th, 2021, Snoop Dogg released his 18th studio album, From the Streets to the Suites. It was announced on April 7th, 2021 via Instagram. The album received generally positive reviews from critics. During an interview on the September 27th airing of The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Snoop Dogg announced Algorithm. The album was released on November 19th, 2021. Snoop Dogg performed at the Super Bowl 56 halftime show alongside Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar. A crowded Super Bowl halftime show lineup with a Southern California vibe took the stage at SoFi Stadium, and the 5 headliners did not disappoint.
Go ahead and turn it on up. CPT, LBC, yeah, we hook it back up. And when they bang this in the club, baby, you got to get up. Thug homies, drug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low life, yo life, boy, we giving it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl up 44 and she repping the face.
This Super Bowl halftime show set the bar extremely high for the future. From a diverse group of nostalgic artists to the unique set, this halftime show will be remembered for many years to come. And to the artists who will perform next, have some big shoes to fill. In January 2022, Snoop Dogg announced that he would release his 19th studio album, BODR, on the same day as his Super Bowl halftime show performance. However, the album's release was pushed back 2 days and was released on February 11th, 2022. On February 10th, 2022, Snoop Dogg announced that he is officially in charge at Death Row Records. At the beginning of his career, his first album was released by Death Row Records, and now he's come full circle. Snoop said the move was an extremely meaningful moment for him, and that he is looking forward to building the next chapter of the record label.
Just happy to be here. You know, the work that I do, when I go into writing songs and making records, I do it from the heart, and to be appreciated for so many years and for people to give it back to me, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I'm speechless right now.
Now, you're an artist that really has transcended every race, every age. Everyone knows you, everyone loves you. What is it about your music or about you personally that you think makes everyone embrace you? What do you think it is about?
It's his style. He's like no other.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
What do you think it is about the music that just reaches everyone?
The way I was raised, you know, I was raised around people. I had friends that were Asian, Latin American, white, black, and when I was raised around those kind of people, it just seems like my music reaches those kind of people.
All right, I break it down to the tone like, with so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop Dogg or Double G, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day, mate. I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through. 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got some freaks in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till 6 in the... So what you wanna do? Look, I got a pocket full of rubbers and my homeboys do too.
Now, if there was one piece of advice you could give an inspiring artist or aspiring producer or songwriter, what would it be? What is the best advice you can give?
To find out what you do and become great at it. You know what I'm saying? If it is producing, singing, writing, become great at what you do. Don't be good at it because everybody's good, but to become great is special. So take your time and find out what you're good at and make it great. And then you become who you are.
From 1992, when he was featured on Dr. Dre's debut solo single, Deep Cover, and then on Dr. Dre's debut solo album, The Chronic, Snoop Dogg has since sold over 23 million albums in the United States and 35 million albums worldwide.
I think a timeless record is a record that you can reflect back on that takes you into a place where you can remember certain things. Like if you hear this record, it takes you back in a time where you was young and it felt good to you and it did this to you. And a hit record is a record that's hidden for right now, that people can get with right now, but they may forget about it in a month or two.
Now one of the most famous and beloved rap stars in the world, Snoop Dogg has built a media empire that he rules from the very top in a blaze of glory.
Right now, I think he's on the right track. You know, the best way to prove it is just continue to make hit records and to have a prosperous career where you have to be able to go down and come back up. It's not about the success, it's about being able to fail and then bounce back. That's how you tell if you're gonna be real successful or not. Every success story that I've seen, you know, has a little bit of failure in it because the failure drives you to not want to fail ever again. And you gotta have a little bit of that because they say you gotta learn how to lose in order to know how to win.
Come on, I got one question I wanna ask y'all. Hold on, what's my name? Hold on, what's my name? Yeah. From the depths of the sea, back to the block, Snoop Dogg, don't homie, it's the got points all on that ass, but it's still the same. Long Beach is the spot from the earn my game. Call me, but don't lose your grip. Not a good thing to give it for me because I'm a great. So I ain't holding nothing back. And once again, I got 5